all for being here today. I appreciate it. I know it's been time, but I'm glad we could all get some food together. Yeah, it's 8:08, and I'm on this meeting order.
There's no question today to say here or not here.
And if you are a proxy, can you please call your pronouns? Just going down the list. Liz. Here. Sonia. Here. Tiago.
Here.
Allison.
I saw her at all call.
And she left here. Tara. Here. Frank.
Here.
Carolyn. Here. Gabby.
Here.
Alejandra. Here. And Caroline, please, she here. Okay, thank you. Chiso.
Here.
Thank you. Leo.
Here.
Carmen. Here. Kay. Here. Mercedes. Here. Charlie. Here. Liv. Here. Ricardo.
Here.
Claire. Here. Nash.
Here.
I am
All right. Please stand for presentations. How do you
May we, the Student Senate, have the wisdom, patience, and guidance to be responsible representatives. May we be fair in judgments, enlightened in our discussions, and ethical in our actions. Can I get a go Broncos?
Go Broncos!
And, Abby, can you do the link on please?
We must acknowledge that Santa Clara University sits on the land of the only enrollment college who trace their ancestry from the Mission Dolores, Santa Clara, and San Jose. We remember their connection to this region and give thanks for their opportunity to live, work, and learn and pray on their traditional homeland. Let us take a moment of silence to pay respect to their elders and all to all holy people of the past and present.
See it?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Tiago, second from Leo. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say no. Previous meeting card, please. Do we have a public comment? Okay, cool. Prior to the approval of today's agenda, we're going to have the rules presentation, but people are here, so I decided I'd do it. Yeah. Motion from Leo, second from Tiago. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Today's agenda is approved. With that being said, we're going to do our old business first, which is the basic needs resolution. So, yeah, Mary and Taylor, let's sort of go through that. Yeah. One.
Alright, so we went through and we made changes based on comments. So your comments resolved partly because we adapted to the changes and just adjusted. If there are some remaining ones, there's some points I want to go through that are more kind of just discussion based, not really changing the content of the text. So I agree with what Sarah said right here. I think Hispanics are institutions, a separate topic that is on its own, so I don't think we should elaborate too much. Also, you know, this is so sad. I was trying to add a definition of Hispanic institution from the Office of Department of Education, and the page doesn't exist anymore. So you can click on it. It says the page has been archived, so it's like a blank. So I have to find another organization to click. We can resolve that one. And then Claire, I just saw your comment. It's pretty recent. I liked the point, so I added one example, the creation of a needs coordinator position as the example. But if you click on this, link, it actually gives you a very comprehensive breakdown of what has been done. So I think this is more helpful than listing all of the things. Yeah.
That's a good, that was just, advice that Jeannie had, because she was like, I don't want people to read it and then say like, oh, well, we've already done, this, it's like we're asking for more.
Yeah, for sure. I just linked this, like,
Yeah, no, I like it. It was
Did you
good.
make the comment in today or earlier?
It was before the link, so.
Okay, cool, sounds good. Great. And so here, I just want y'all to know, I kept this because I wanted you all to know that actually, private schools are in general a lot more far behind in terms of the maturity of programming and how extensive it is. For those of us who only went to one college, this may not be us by parent. I went to the California Higher Education Basic Needs Alliance Conference in Sacramento, where the entirety of all the public student institutions in California go and talk about basic. That conference has like 400 people, 500 people. There's so much that have been done in other places, and compared to them, we're really, really behind in terms of effort. So it's hard to find another Jesuit institution to do that. So yeah, so I just wanted to acknowledge that, and I linked UC Santa Barbara because I went to their particular workshop and got inspiration about the meal voucher program and mini food pantries of really how to utilize space when you have limited space. So yeah, useful. And then next, funding. I know Kay already addressed it, and I agree with what she said. The funding right now is it's a very long-term goal, and I actually just hopped up. I had a basic needs committee meeting for providing suggestions to the university actually just earlier yesterday, and we talked about funding. I said that would be something I see as first priority, but and Jason Pfister, he's the boss of Lex Abadi, who's the basic needs coordinator, said that there's a lot of moving pieces in there, so yeah, we wouldn't be able to ask them for a specific amount, but they are working on it. It is a conversation that's ongoing, so just so you all know that it's not forgotten. So, and then moving on, so the TESOL proposal action plan, I think is very important to keep in there. So they talked about whether or not we want to keep it, and I said that it's important for even those who are not in position of power to enact institutional changes. They should know, first of all, the presence of this issue. Second of all, what are possible solutions to this issue? And there's hope. There are programs out there who demonstrated what are effective things that can be done and could be done and that are sustainable. So I just think it's some knowledge that everyone should know, not just those we address this resolution to. And Claire, I like your comment about organizing it based on the 5 things, but I think it makes more sense because right now we're organizing by theme and in terms of elaboration. So I personally think this is a better way to elaborate on details. So I think I'm going to go with the current format. But thank you for this one.
Yeah, of course.
And then, so rough number. I looked at UCSB's current numbers. It's 3 meals per quarter per student. That, by the way, their pantry, their entire food support system, they have associate student pantries. They have 6,000 people enrolled. It's crazy, and it's actually 70,000 times in the past school year. But they have bigger institutions. But anyways, I think that it depends on funding and where this funding is coming from. 1 per student per quarter, I'll be more than happy to do that as a starting point. Asking for 3 per quarter, given Benson's pricing, it's a lot. Unless we can get the pricing down, we'll get an internal discount or something in that round. So I don't know, what do we think about adding a set number? And by the way, the meal voucher program also in our committee meeting, it was ranked as one of the top 3 priorities, so it's in the works.
I guess I'll just say it's always good to ask for more, and then, as we have continued conversations and, I guess, try to be, I don't know, to accommodation, because this is like your ask, right? Like this is like, you're asking for the ideal circumstance, so, yeah, I would just put what they're doing.
I think also we have a lot smaller of a student population than a lot of the UCs like Santa Barbara have. So I think like the amount of students that we would have to service would probably be a smaller amount than Santa Barbara. So the total number would probably be smaller than whatever Santa Barbara's is.
Yes, but their dining hall is also $10 per person per meal, which is half of usually what we have. You know, that's why. I think I like the point. Then maybe we could do, for example, UC Santa Barbara has 3 vouchers per student per quarter. What do you think? Yeah. I'm not typing that as a one-hand type. Is anyone?
Oh, like technically.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, not very good at one-hand typing. Okay, cool. Great.
Thank you.
Let's do this. So in terms of paying Basic Needs Ambassador, I actually also brought this up with Basic Needs. I thought about going towards the wellness grant that we talked about, but it's more, but it's actually a lot more nuanced to this. It's not like if we can get the wellness grant, we can pay our ambassadors, because there's all legal issues in terms of paying someone, a student. So, and also depending on the nature of the job and the commitment, it actually differs. There's designated stipend or hourly payment. So there's a lot of specificities in that. So I added at the end of the paragraph that they should be compensated, but I don't think we should add more detail in terms of how they should be compensated, because that's a conversation that for future reference, when we know what kind of funding, what kind of involvement we want there to be. What do you think? So that's it. Student ambassadors should be compensated. And I added institutionalized. Vanessa brought a really good point about really thinking about longevity of programs. A lot of these are great ideas that we can add to our program, but how do we keep them continuous in the long term? So I want to point that out. And at this point in time, the program is still funded through donations. So the position of basic coordinator is actually funded by donations. The school did put in a set amount of money to a pantry, but it's a set amount, and I don't think it's very based on the actual. You know, if we keep demonstrating needs, hopefully money will keep coming, but it's not guaranteed. Also, the position for basic needs coordinator is actually also not permanent. It's a temporary position of like, let's try this out for a couple of years and see. 5. So just what you want to know. And I love the conversation that Ted started and everyone else contributed to. And at the end, I resolved to taking the exact words from Vanessa. So by centralized, I mean, it's not in a house that you have to search on Google Maps to find, if that makes sense. I hope it's somewhere that everyone knows, and I know where the pantry is, like in the back of the head, because they're always in this ground of location-wise. So, for example, my friend who goes to UC school, I was telling her about all the exciting things our basic needs program has been doing. Like, we have a pantry, and all that stuff. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, all the big food insecure students finally have someone to go to. She's like, oh, you guys didn't have that before? And we have our pantry only has very limited fresh food. She's like, oh, you mean like a place you can get free food? Oh, we have a whole basically supermarket for free food. She's like, I get a yogurt there every day. And I was like, wow. And it's very, very central. It's right next to their dining hall. So you can't even ignore it. You walk by, oh, that's the basic needs probably, okay. That. So really hope we can get a spot in Benson, but it's very crowded here. Right now, I don't know, how many of you have been to the pantry physically? Okay. The pantry, if you walk into the room, it's essentially this big. Right? Where's the cutoff? Say this wall is the cutoff. This big. We can't even fit a commercial fridge in there. I don't know, maybe 4 people can stand in there. Smaller than my villa closet, you know. It's very small. It's a walk-in closet. So my point is, we need more space for the pantry. Right now, actually, I didn't write this on here. I don't think I did. Grocery stores have reached out saying that they will be more than willing to donate recovered food. So, you know, those salads that are reach their sell-by date but still good to eat. They said, well, yeah, we're down to do it. Unless you have a commercial fridge. That room is a commercial fridge size. So that's our issue. And space is a very, very controversial topic. That's the conversation that's been had, people up there, that's what I was told. Yeah.
Do you know what the OAE space is going to be used for after the MCC moves out, given that you guys, the OAE is like moving back?
There's not a permanent decision yet.
So it's above Jason Fitzer, who's the boss of Lexus, and I think Matthew Duncan, who's the head of OSL, is part of the conversation, but to a limited extent. So all we can do right now at this point is just to say, we want this, please. And we know the fridge is on the list of asks, you know, but where on the list, we don't know. It's not too, you know, it's not too depressing. At the end of the day, it's on there, right? It's better than not being on there. As the conversation started, the fall quarter is still going. You know? Also, daily science, you know, the whole building is just haunted, empty, and like, that's a big space. But everyone on the campus, all the departments are writing. So we don't know. All right, so that's, can we read all this one? Comment or good? Yes. And then, yes, transportation. So Alexis Takagi went on a side project to figure out how do we get free transportation for everyone, because people who go to state schools have that, right? Do we wonder where the money is coming from? Is it because all the public transportation people are just so nice that, oh, you get automatically free pass? No, it comes from their tuition. So it's basically mostly exists in the form of lock-in fees, which is a set amount of money you add to your tuition for a specific purpose. So our school, I talked to President Sullivan. She's nice, right? And so I was like, how do we get a basic lock-in fee in there? So $5 per person, I did the math. It's a lot of money. If you want to do the math, you can. I don't have the number top of my head, but it's a lot of money. $5 per person, per quarter. We can do a lot with that money. But apparently, was it the board people? What's it? Yes, they hate the idea of locking fees. So apparently they stopped it many years ago before Julie's here. So Julie's like, oh, if you can get it back, I would love that. I want to add an athletic locking fee. I was like, okay, so I have to talk to the board of trustees. And like, got this. So anyway, so the point is money, right? So Alexis Takagi went to the VTA, Caltrain people, and said, we want this for our students. They said, unless you pay for every single student in your university, even those who don't need it. So that's where the conversation ended. I know there are past attempts that students are trying to get free universal transportation. It just stops there because you have to do per student, and we have, 9,000 students combined who are graduate and undergrad. That's how much money we have to provide them every year. And we don't have locking fees to fund that. That's where yes.
What fee are you talking about? What fee?
Basically, locking fee is a way to get funding from students.
Okay,
Locked in. So it just basically means you add a certain amount of money in your tuition bill for a specific purpose.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, so technically we could, if we really want this to happen, like free public transportation for everyone, we could start a transportation locking fee where everyone pays like $5. We do the math. Maybe it would be $2 per person. We don't know. But yeah.
Would that be covered by students, let's say scholarships, loans, all, like whatever way you're financing college?
Yeah, it will go into the normal financial aid calculation because it's part of the tuition bill. But that is, we have to get over Board of Trustee first, and President Sullivan doesn't even know why they don't like it. So, those of you who are younger than me, figure that out, please. So, and Alexis got really busy in summer, and she had to be kind of let that project sit right now, so no one's really working on that. So, but she's gone somewhere. She talked to people who are very central to the public transportation department people. So she has the contacts if you're really passionate about this. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, have y'all ate at the Adobe Lounge before? It's quite nice. It's small, but like they toss your salad in front of you. And you don't have to tip. Okay, the tipping part is everything, but you know, yeah, it's really nice. And the quality of food and style are very similar to the Globe, where you know the healthy two stations are the most expensive. That's how I exhausted my plan when first years I only ate at the Globe and the Coffee Bar. But my point is, think about the concept of a dining plan. You pay before you eat. There is no willingness to buy in this equation in terms of pricing. Those of you who are econ major, any econ major in here? Great, you know, when willingness to buy is in the equation, you gotta think more about pricing, right? When you are eating off campus, they don't know if you're gonna come back tomorrow. That's why they maximize however much they can make today. But that's not how an institution of higher education should be. First of all, we pay them the full amount before we eat. So they can set the price at however much because we have to buy. I mean, not that we have to, it's already in their pocket. So whether you eat or not, the money's there. That's why I think it's a really different business model compared to dining off campus. And it shouldn't, that's why I said the statement, it shouldn't be profit driven, it should be surrounded student well-being. Like where does the fine balance between profit and well-being sit? And given the price point at Adobe Lunch, because faculty pay there per meal, they don't have a dining plan. When the willingness to buy is relatively low, and also faculties have cards and they're real adults who know how much food costs. That's why it's $11, guys. Think about it. Okay, so that's why I think there is room to adjust the pricing. Also considering that we're paying our workers fairly, because they claim they do right now, so I don't have the numbers, so that's why I think $18 per or $20 per plate is not where we should be at. I don't know if you tried. Thank you. Well, that's my tech talk. Thank you. But my freshman and sophomore year, I remember the only way I exhausted my dining plan and I ate 2 meals a day. Okay, at the Poke Bar and the Globe, which is the most expensive one. But you know, I still had to calculate, plan it as like day by day. I didn't eat on campus on the weekends. That's how. But if that's someone who wants to eat 3 meals a day, and this is the only place they're sourcing their food, can they eat the Globe, which is the healthiest option every day? Or yes.
Yeah, so I've heard the way that the pricing is set and the way the basic plan at least is set is it's 3 meals a day, only on weekdays, not on weekends. That's what I've heard. I don't know.
Are they saying, but what if I took you on Poke Bar and my extra seaweed salad, that's $2? I can't live without seaweed salad, avocado in my Poke Bar. Exactly. If you eat fire and like Mission Bakery every day, fine, you can eat 6 meals a day and be fine. But yes.
I think also like evaluating like how much money goes towards each thing, like the workers, the food that they have to get, and like administration, or not like administration, but the people that like the company that we're hiring for this. Because I think realistically, from my experience, a lot of the meals that I've had in Benson that are like $15+ do not have ingredients that I would guess would be $15+ per person. Because a lot of them, they like make in bulk. So I doubt that they're really spending a lot of that money on like the ingredients themselves, and probably it's just going to the people who run the company. So,
It's not going to the workers? Okay, so, where was I? Oh, yes, at the price. So, that's why I said, for people whose financial aid packages were calculated based on the dining packages, they're due, or they eat fire every day, not really, well, not to that extent, but a lot of people don't have enough money to spend on their, on foods, and that's not good. Okay. All right, thank you. So, moving on. So now we move on to the question, what are the ways we can, alleviate that? So first, mutual aid efforts, student-to-student transfer, a previous resolution have touched on this. So between student and student, we can provide support to each other without hurting all the profit that one piece not make. That is, so I had it in there because it's a previous ask that has yet to happen yet. But I heard it's in the works, so that's not the right keep me updated. We have that in my SU meeting. Okay, thank you. And next, student basic needs program donation. We all have the app, right? Did you see the PDF they sent separately in the inbox? I saw it. Okay. See, those of you who didn't nod, that's the issue. When you see,
Oh, I got notification. I didn't click on the PDF.
see, if you didn't click on the PDF, you're like, why would I give $50 to Access Office? Why would I do that? Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you put that notification on an app where the entire background is running, so it's not really nice to check.
Exactly. We gotta fix that. And so I actually talked to Seth Lou. I have this written down today, so the student can check it off today, probably can see it. So according to Sam, the way this is working is we donate money to Access Office, and they purchase stuff from the seller and give it to the basic needs program. So it's not really giving money to the basic needs program, because there's a lot of legality. Well, in terms of donation, that's why the student-to-student transfer hasn't happened yet. Because if the purpose is only donation, you could ask for a tax cut because it's donation, and so it's a lot of hurdles to get through. So I guess I see why they're doing this, kind of go roundabout, but also the basic needs coordinator actually knows nothing about this whole donation thing that's happening. I actually figured it out because I had a meeting with Sam, updated Alexa today, how the money flows and how they get it. Oh, thank you. Grammar was sent to their. Well, yeah, based on context, we'll assume the money goes directly to the pantry, right? So donate to the pantry. So, yeah, so the no cap part. I realize there's it's a little confusing, the two. Student-to-student transfer is one thing, student-based needs donation is the other thing. So in that case, would the part about hazing still apply to donation to the pantry?
Nash, just scroll down a little bit.
It's a discussion.
So, yeah, the third one.
So we're talking about. So do we want to make, yes?
I'll just clarify.
Oh.
So last year, Carolyn, you worked on this resolution, right?
Yeah.
So that was a resolution to try to establish a dining point transfer program, so people could transfer their extra unused dining points to other students. And so in that, there was a lot of discussion about putting a cap on how much somebody can transfer to another student to avoid the risk of mostly like hazing when you talk about pledges and fraternities and that kind of stuff. So this is donating to a food pantry, so it's a little different, but I think it's still worth talking about whether it's a good idea to have some sort of restrictions on how much students could donate, just given the risks of extortion or coercion or anything like that.
Yeah, I just want to comment, because I did follow up with Sam Florio also like recently about that resolution that I passed. And that was, yeah, specifically about like safeguards against hazing. The kind of solution that he was thinking is that like you can only, well first sorry, jumbling my thoughts. First I'll say, I think the risk is definitely much, much lower when it comes to donating instead of transferring directly to a student, which I'm definitely willing to compromise with him. Like, I think that's a great idea, just having it be donated instead of going directly to another student. So I think that's totally fine. And then the kind of safeguard that was put in place is having, only allowing students to transfer after a certain amount of weeks throughout the school year. That's one thing like an idea he was mentioning. And another thing he told me was that if this, when this ends up happening, if this ends up happening, the dining points that get donated, they'll never go away. They'll keep getting accumulated quarter to quarter, so they'll kind of total up. And yeah, so that provides a little bit more context.
So then, from my understanding, if hazing happened and there are reports of it and confirmation, we can reverse the donation.
That's not, I don't think so. I don't know exactly how that would work if it were to happen. I think the main safeguard was that like you could only donate after a certain amount of time during the quarter. And the question that I brought up to him, well, what if the demand is needed for a longer quarter? And that's when he told me like, well, theoretically, the points shouldn't go away after that one quarter. So, I don't know, it's like it hasn't been planned or anything yet, or I guess it hasn't happened yet, but those are kind of the initial plans of it, to my understanding.
I mean, yeah, in regards to having the no cap, I think maybe just having a really high one, I feel like would be a good compromise, because I just think people are a little scared of there being an infinite number that you could do for the donation, so I think having maybe like
Yeah, I would have to agree with Sarah's point. I also think like in terms of like hazing and coercion, I think it's a little bit more different and more difficult for someone who's being coerced to like either donate or like get the money that's being donated to go through like the pantry. I see it a little bit harder. So I would, let's say, remain consistent with what was previously done. I think like a high cap would be a possible solution.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not sure what you mean by 200 or like.
just an example of a really high cap, because wait, scroll up a bit, please. Thank you. There should be no cap, I just
I know,
like
but
that phrase is just.
Just 200 out of like 2,000 plus points, and people have to
Yeah, I
like
don't think
1,000 points
200 is-
left over.
Well, for how donations work now, you can do it multiple times, right? You can just do it once.
Max 50.
I see, okay.
I like the idea. I was going to bring up the same thing, like, oh, you can't donate until week 8, and I also think that if it's to the pantry, hazing isn't really going to have an effect. So if it's like pantry plus playtime, I don't think there should be an issue with the cap.
What about, we can specify that donation window starts week 9, 10, and week 11. So that makes a little middle ground.
If they carry over, then there will be like some to pull from already from the previous quarter. So people who might run out like week 8 already, if they this quarter.
Was there a hand?
Yeah, I'll just note for clarity, the other resolution, you couldn't donate until week 6, and you could only donate a maximum of 130 or dining points over the course of the quarter. So if you guys are good with that, like you could just be consistent, and I agree with you, I think the risks are lower for donation. So just keeping the same as one option. But if you want to move from that, obviously, that's up to you guys to discuss.
Yeah, I think donations are different, so I think probably doing, sorry, I was under the impression that you could repeat the donations.
Right, no.
But in that case, if like, because like if people have like 900 left and they don't want it to go to waste, right, so, yeah.
I don't know. That's what I thought, and I do have friends who are on other brands, and they're currently, I don't know, 1,500 points left in that more. Yeah, yeah. I guess at all, basically. So, yeah, so,
I think we should like stick with week 6 probably, but not have a cap because there is so much variability in who wants to donate. Like for example, in my first quarter here, I had to have a whole meal plan even though I can't eat at Benson. So like, I couldn't donate 2,000 points, even though my parents wish I could have donated 2,000 points instead of getting hundreds of smart water bottles, like hundreds. So I think capping it could risk losing points.
right. Yeah. So, yeah.
Sorry, just one more question. So for the donations, right now it's in week 9 and 10. Are we thinking of switching it to week 6? Yeah?
No, I'm asking.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's what Kay is suggesting.
Okay,
Just to
so
remain consistent with what Bailey had said.
with the student point, I thought that was the point transfer.
Yes,
Week
yeah,
6.
so.
And then when that starts, then the donations open as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, so
Yeah.
the idea is, I guess they were saying is, so do you get confused in terms of when?
I see, okay, yeah.
Another kind of similar idea, and I don't know if there's like a reason not to do this, would it be possible to instead say that like beyond the 100 points that can be transferred to a next quarter, all other points are kind of just like caught in a net and then transferred to basic needs instead?
Sorry, can you repeat what you said?
Because you can have 100 points that transfer to the next quarter.
Like the rolling over.
Yes. For any amount of points that anyone has that are over 100 by the time the quarter ends, can you also say that basic needs program can then get all of that as donations, or is there a reason why that's not done?
I brought that up with San Florida, and that is actually not possible in like the contracts with one of the team, unfortunately. That, like, it would have to be, you couldn't, you can't have like an automatic rollover to donations, because I guess it's in the contracts that any like leftover points are meant, I'm not exactly sure like everything, but it would go back to one petite. So it would have to be students opting in to donate that money with the current setup.
And just to clarify, the transferring of points hasn't happened yet, right? Like it's not
Well, except for the $50
right.
like donation.
Donation.
Yeah, I think my only worry with that is times when students opt in and forgot about it and a lot of mess can come up because this is a very specific donation.
If it's not allowed, that's fine, it doesn't matter.
But thank you for the idea. I think it's worth the discussion because I feel like maybe a lot of us have thought about that. Like, didn't create enough. Cool. So I think week 6 makes sense. Do we think that we can say starting week 6 that they can donate to the basic program? Yeah. Yeah, no, we keep those high. I don't know, grammatically, where should we insert week 6? The cap on what students can donate, starting week 6?
The donation period should start.
Yeah, maybe after the candidate, starting week 6. Yes.
Upstairs.
Oh, I said 9 to 10. Yes, I said currently.
Oh.
Yeah, I said currently, so it's like, you know, what happens right now. And instead of my complaint about what's happening.
So there should be a sentence before the underline saying
Yeah.
the donation period should start at week 6.
Yeah, starting week 6. Yeah, so that's what I had an online kind of it shouldn't be a PDF. It should just say donate to the proper food pantry at the least. Great. We can resolve it on. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's a lot on. it was like, I was texting Kate, like, I need help with finding specific individuals, because it feels like when you grocery shop on an empty stomach, you're just like, this is good, and then this is also good. I had like a full page of people's name on it, but Kate's like, you know what, we agreed on just the head of whatever office. Hopefully they'll trickle down. Because if they're very particular, that would be helpful. So this is what I have right now. Claire, you said that Sam is in charge of housing also. I just thought, I was under the impression that he's only does the food stuff, but he does housing also, so then we take off all the housing people. I have two, I think.
There's also, just by the way, these are also notes from G.
Okay, great. So should we just get Eddie and Elaine off the list? The third, fourth? Yeah, those two. Oh, housing business, yeah, those. Oh, not that. There we go.
Wait,
Yeah.
Margarita too?
Wait, hold on, not Elaine, she's faculty development. Yeah, those, yes. I'll do it. Thank you. I don't know, because I feel like President Sullivan has so much email coming into her inbox. I wonder if having Molly on there would be helpful. That's why I had it on there. What are we doing? Yeah, okay, we'll keep it. It's gonna resolve my question mark at thingy on there. There. Okay, should we keep it? What do we think about this? Should we add or subtract? What do we think? That's how I got to a full page this afternoon. I was like, you know what, we gotta stop there. Okay.
I think
Yes.
for the admission / financial aid office part, do you saying just do
I was trying to find which Eva is it? I was trying to look on the phone book and I couldn't find the Eva in the name.
Yeah, like you give a moment.
Oh, do we have, can anyone look? Eva who?
Belong.
Plus yes, Blanco.
Oh, we co-presented during the week of the lead conference. Oh, I know her name. Okay. Blanco. Like she talked about all the Hispanic institution stuff that the university. Let me
I would remove Laura. I just don't see it, like, Susan Popka's more relevant. We'll send it to anyone in the student division, not just in office.
Eva Bronco might be it.
I got it.
Great, she's super nice.
Mary, did you hear?
Oh, yes, remove. I most of the people I don't know personally, so I just kind of shocked by names and positions, so.
Yeah, Laura's not really involved.
Yeah, feel free, if y'all know better.
Do we need Francine if we have
And then, okay.
You already
She's already there.
She's already there.
Bailey added it.
Mary, she's
Yes.
already there.
Oh, great, thank you. We can get rid of that.
Do we want to get rid of Francine at the top here?
Oh, yeah, we can. One issue I have is I couldn't find a dean of admissions for CAS engineering program, which I don't know why you all know, for graduate school.
She covers them all. She
Oh.
as well.
Okay, great, so we can get rid of Francine. Okay. Yeah, what do we think?
So we
Oh,
got
we
Wilson.
can take, oh, yeah, wait. Oh, right, so we have Wilson, okay. We can take what else do we have?
Should we have both of these people for faculty development or just one?
Maybe we could do one of the, I just didn't know, actually I didn't know what, because one's provost, one's administrative, so, yeah, you know, I
Oh,
see.
exactly.
Then we can do provost.
I guess, yeah, I guess keep this one.
Yeah, we can get rid of. Here. Great. Yay. Any other relevant people that we should send this to?
Not at addition, but I would move like this,
Yeah.
but like a little higher, not quite. Like all these people, I would move.
Yeah, look at that.
Mhm.
Or even,
Can we go higher for Julie? I don't know.
no, it's okay.
This is good.
Okay, just like any adult politics in there. Okay. What do we think? Yeah. Anything else we need to address as authors? Motion.
Motion from Craig, second from Tiago. All those in favor of voting, say aye. All those opposed, say nay. All right, now voting, we are doing a roll call vote.
Okay, doing a roll call vote for SR8, advancing student basic needs at SCU. When I call your name, you basically have three options. Okay, Liz. Yes. Sorry. Liz. Yes. Sonia. Yes. Tiago. Yes. Ricardo. Yes. Mara.
Yes.
Herb. Frank. Carolyn.
Yes.
Gabby. Alejandro. Piso.
Yes.
Leo.
Yes.
Carmen.
Yes.
Hey.
Yay.
Yay. Mercedes. Charlie.
Yes.
It's passed. Congratulations.
Taking out, Horacio. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's
that's fine. That's
Or
not
do we-
substantive. It's okay.
Oh, we're taking it out? Oh, yes. No, just keep it. Okay, okay.
I think that's, Jeannie said that would be under,
Wilson.
So we are taking it out.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's up to you, but.
Okay. All right.
All right, I kind of meant to say this at the beginning of the meeting, but then I just forgot because I got excited. There were a couple of things I was going to include in the vote presentation, that we're obviously not having this week. But just a couple quick reminders, in order to speak, whether you're in Senate, whether you're in exec, whether in Senate, non-Senate, or a member of the public, you need to be addressed by me in order to speak. And then also, yeah, just, again, just, I think that like, there's times in the past where we've debated and not have had the best decorum. That was a perfect example of, I think, a great conversation. And so let's just keep that in mind when we're debating about things. And yeah, just be sure to, you know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion and their own views and ideals. But yeah, just be respectful of one another. Yeah, again, more details coming with the actual presentation, but the main thing was just, yeah, I will call it this. So, yeah, but thank you. Good job, Mary. That was great. Thank you. And Sarah, sponsor. Just sponsor. Yeah, awesome. All right, moving on. Our only matter of new business today is the bylaw change. So, yeah.
I would like to motion to close the Senate. I just feel like this conversation is going to be a little bit more personal than some other conversations that we have in Senate, and I think it would be beneficial if we just close it because for sharing personal information.
Motion from Carolyn, second from Tiago. All those in favor of closing the session say aye. You guys raise your hands. yeah, we'll close the session.
Wait, what was the count?
It was 8 and there's 16 people.
You need 50 plus 1.
Can I do the plus one?
Yes. Yeah, as long as that vote is like recorded, yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Oh. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. Now we're gonna close the session. So obviously the camera's gonna turn off. I think, yeah.